Tuesday, December 16th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. I'm your host today, Jace Cooper, alongside my producer for the next hour and a bit, Jacob Gramegna. And we have a great show for you today. Kick things off, Drew Dinsick's going to come on. We're going to talk a little bit about the NBA Cup. I feel like it's the most important thing on today's sports schedule. So we're going to touch on the NBA Cup, talk some NFL futures with Drew, and then we'll turn over, bring on Rob. Hopefully he's a little bit cooled down now after he's out of that Dolphins costume and soaked a tough Dolphins loss. And we all kind of soaked a tough Dolphins loss. The underdog, moneyline, parlay, round robin, whatever you want to call it, was riding on the Dolphins last night. Could not come home for us. We've been so close so many times. I feel like we're almost there.
But if you round robin, like you always say.
Yes, you would actually be doing pretty well. I would have to run the numbers on that, but I would assume if you're round robining.
Did you advertise the round robin?
I always do it every week, because especially considering the Chargers were like plus 215, I think ish, plus 235 around when we were recording, maybe 205. Just made sense to me. If we're gonna be betting all underdogs, just round robin the twos as well. And then finally we close out the show, Edric Overtime, as we always do on the Tuesday. No special guests today. I mean, you can call them special if you want. Alex, So Money, the usual crew will be here.
Earlier than normal, though.
Earlier than normal.
In case
breaking down every NHL game. I also like when they come on a little bit early because that means I get to go a little bit longer with Rob. Yeah, that's about it for today. So excited to get into today's show. Before we do that, quickly want to promote BetStamp with football in full swing and basketball back on the board. Now's the time to lock in BetStamp Pro's prop screen. Pro is built for high-level bettors who need to spot and scale up edges fast between NFL Sundays, college football Saturdays, and daily NBA action. Prop markets are more liquid and prices are sharper than ever, so the window to exploit inefficient numbers is right now. You can't do that without a hyper-efficient, reliable true line that shows you the real market prices in seconds across 150-plus outs, helping you find and hit scalable edges fast. Don't wait. The opportunity to capitalize on prop markets is right now. Visit betstamp.com/hammer or scan the QR code on screen to apply for a demo. Spots are limited during the season, so you're going to want to apply right now. All right. We're going to bring on Drew in just a second, but I feel like I have to bring this up because, listen, Jacob, I've kind of ragged on you a bit for liking darts so much, right? Kind of poked fun at you for it, but I'm fully bought in now. I don't know if you guys seen this viral clip on Twitter. It has like almost 1 million views right now. It's of the PDC World Darts Championship. It's the first round, and it's of Cameron Menzies, who absolutely Cameron Menzies losing his mind. So Jacob, give us a little bit of context for this.
All right, so here, let's watch. Let's
roll the clip. It's crazy. So he loses.
So he just lost a game here. Here he is on the right side of the video here. This is in the middle of Charlie Manby, who just won the match. And starts just absolutely hammering his water table as Charlie's trying to shake his hand. Poor Charlie Manby on his debut, getting a win, trying to shake his hand.
Doesn't shake his hand.
The ref comes over to him, basically telling him, get the fuck off the stage, acting like that. And the crowd starts booing him. He starts giving it back to the crowd. There's actually a really good alternate angle of this as well, which I'll pull up here. So here's like a fan view of it. Firstly, there's like the kind of fireworks going off, and he puts his hand directly on top of it to stop the fireworks going, and then just gives it to the table.
It is one of the craziest clips I've ever seen. I love how he puts his hand over the firework like he's like getting ready to like charge up his punch, like he's like Iron Man or something.
Yeah.
And he walks up to the table and just starts unleashing. My biggest takeaway though was he probably could have got more power if he used his hips a little bit more. That is
it was pretty poor form.
Poor form
from a Muay Thai trained, two Muay Thai trained athletes. And here's the damage done to his hand afterwards. Very bloody. I'd be surprised if he didn't break a bone, honestly, the way he hammered the table. So context is he just lost a match. He was probably supposed to win. I think he was about minus 250, though like darts markets typically have like heavy juice, but he was like minus 250. He was expected to win. Charlie Manby's a great player, but Menzies is as well having a great year. But Menzies is very, very famous for head loss moments on big stages, and this is the biggest stage of all, the World Championships. And like last year, he lost a match, and as he was losing, he just started like crying, like not quite bawling, but he was very, very teary-eyed, crying on stage. He's just so known for moments like this, but he's never had a head loss moment like this. And unfortunately, like, man, this is what he's going to be most famous for right now. This is his most famous moment.
Absolutely. I haven't seen a crash out like that in a very, very long time. Hope he's doing okay. A lot of people are saying that he might have like some severe issues. Like mental health
could be some mental issues going on. His uncle's funeral is coming up, which he mentioned as something that's on his mind. But as much like there's no excuse to this, and he said that, but like you just can't do this no matter what's going on. Like, you cannot lose your head, like especially like Charlie Manby, young player on his debut. He's coming over to shake your hand. Be respectful. You want to fucking punch something, do it in the fucking change room or whatever, your own personal room after the practice room, not on stage at the World Championships.
I forget who was it Wyndham Clark who like destroyed
the
clubhouse with his do that in the clubhouse after. Don't do it on stage and take away a moment from a guy who's like.
Exactly. The most famous. Yeah. It was a great match as well, which is even worse. It was a fantastic match between the two. Went down to the wire. Charlie Manby played so well. This should not have been what people thought. It should have been how good of a match it was.
Yeah. But anyways, most viral clip I've seen yesterday. One of the most viral clips probably on your Twitter feed today. Now I'm getting a bunch of dart stuff fed in my Twitter algorithm. I got some guy who's like dressed up as the Grinch or something to play a darts match. Anyways, thought it'd be fun to just show the people in case they missed it. But yeah, very interesting stuff. They're going to have to tune into darts more regularly now. But let's flip over. Let's get into the NBA Cup. Someone's saying we duped them. No, we're going to talk NBA Cup with Drew. So we'll bring him on right now. He's an NFL, NBA, and tennis handicapper. He's a betting analyst over at NBC Sports Bet. He's also the co-host of the Deep Dive podcast. Drew, how's it going?
Sorry, one sec.
Of an NBA Cup final, this is one of the bigger days on the calendar, right, for everyone.
I mean, like, it's a big day for us here. It's like a thin slate elsewhere. Not too much going on. Mostly college basketball. NFL we're restarting the week. College football. We've talked about the bowl games ad nauseum, and the college football playoffs ad nauseum. Now, like, there's only so much we can talk about. So I wanted to get in a little bit about the NBA Cup here. So right now, first of all, did you have any futures here for the NBA Cup? Spurs, Knicks. Are you shocked that OKC's not in the finals?
Yes, I lost my shirt on that particular outcome. So yeah, but at the same time, I was watching and it was like, I rode the roller coaster with OKC on their title run last year. I was heavily staked to win the West, to win the title. And when they lost like that game one against the Nuggets, you're just like, how? Like you're 10 points better than this team. The market closes 10. Like, how do you lose that game? And then they did it again against the Pacers in the finals. And so OKC does have these weird, kind of outlier type of performances where it's a close game and they just can't quite seem to get the offense they need to in the final moments, even though, that they're an all-time defense and Shea's, an absolute god right now. So it was a shocker. I don't understand how to price the Spurs at all. I cannot believe that this price is 2.5 for this game. On the balance of the season, and in particularly of late, the New York Knicks have been amazing. Right now, they're close to a +9 for me. The best I can possibly convince myself with a, kind of metered Wemby, minutes and usage is Spurs should be like a +3. So I would have expected a number closer to 6, considering this is a neutral court. We're at 2.5. So I'm way off market here, which is usually a terrible, terrible sign. And I don't know. I mean, Wemby's obviously is a very, very unique player to try to match up with. He can, he's taken his offensive game to another level this year, with his ability to, kind of get anything he wants in the paint. He is drawing a very, very difficult matchup, though. What Mitchell Robinson has done this season has gone a little bit unheralded, but it has been excellent in terms of just, one-on-one defense. And I think that's kind of where my head is at here with how the Knicks get the stops they need to ultimately win this game. Knicks, obviously, more experienced team, a lot of chemistry with this group, a lot of, just general familiarity with everybody's roles, responsibilities. And while Brunson is not a player that I'm like dying to back to make like a run through the NBA playoffs just because of his size and his injury history, he's fine right now. He's good for this game. He can absolutely create in the clutch. So I'm going to go Knicks here, and I'm going to do it relatively conservatively, because again, like when I'm this far off market in an NBA game, there's usually something I'm missing that that I can't square. And maybe I have the Knicks overrated. Maybe I'm the last one to the party that has San Antonio as like a +6 or a +7 team or whatever, but it's tough for me to get to anywhere close to 2.5 here.
So Wemby played 21 minutes in his last game. Do you think part of this could also be like Wemby getting like his minutes maybe juiced up a little bit more because of the I don't want to say like the importance of this game. It's not the biggest game ever, but like it would mean a lot to these players to win, I think, right? Like so. Do you think
they
that
make a lot of money?
Yeah, they would make more money, right? So do you think that has like maybe something to do with it? Maybe like people are just projecting some higher minutes for Wemby?
I've heard it's going to be the same approach.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe people are assuming it, and it's not actually, and that's part of the reason the market is where it is. But I had heard that they were going to basically, they were going to run it back, sit him first quarter, give him closing minutes as kind of the high, high intensity minutes. But I can't square this one. And again, like let's pretend that you give me the Spurs and like they are full strength. They are going to give you their playoff game 7 type of level of intensity and minutes here for all of their best players. I'm still not inside 2.5 here. Like there's still a decent gap between these teams in terms of their top level. And again, maybe like I could end up being the last person to realize that this is their breakout. This is their arrival, the Spurs, that is. But there are defensive weaknesses on this team, certainly. And I know that Wemby is he is a geometry on the floor game changer, in terms of how you play defense, just because of his length and his specific ability to block and steal. But but there are a lot of ways to take advantage of these guys, particularly their guards and point of attack. So I think that the Knicks are going to find ways to get the offense they need in clutch, and I think they're going to steal this one and be crowned the NBA Cup champions. NBA Cup, Emirates Cup, whatever they're calling it. I really need this to just go away, though. Like the whole NBA Cup has just put an entire monkey wrench into the betting in the month of December. I hate not having the schedule when we start the season. I hate the fact that there's basically all of this extra rest for all of the other teams that are not playing in the Cup. There's like an exhibition spirit about the games that are not NBA Cup games. All of it just kind of takes a little bit of the fun and interest out of betting the NBA in the month of December away from me.
Takes the wind out of the sails, unfortunately. I'm sorry that I'm making you come on here and speak NBA Cup, but I have a couple more questions if that's okay with you.
Fire away.
They're coming from the chat, though, so you can blame them.
Fire away.
So one of them's coming from Derek, 1111, saying, what do you think of the Knicks first quarter money line -125? Wemby probably not starting and or playing limited minutes.
Yeah, that's my expectation. I would make the Knicks closer to 2-point favorites in every quarter, but in a quarter where you're going to get a healthy amount of backup minutes for the bigs, Knicks should be able to get off to a nice start here. So that's a nice look. I don't have any inside folks in San Antonio that have kind of tipped the game plan. So I'm speculating, and based on what I've heard, so it's particularly some of the guys who cover it, I think it's going to be the same thing we saw in the semis.
All right. Another question here, and then we'll move on to some NFL futures. Rudy95 is asking about he has Knicks 10-1. He's looking at it like a creative way to potentially hedge that NBA Cup bet. He was saying, should he hedge with Spurs money line, or would you maybe go a little bit higher and be a little bit more aggressive and go with Wemby MVP, which is around 4-1? Even though of his minutes restrictions, don't you think that Wemby might just win the award? And we actually talked about this last week with Kirk. He was 40-1, where it's like if you wanted to throw a dart at someone to win the MVP, it's just throw it at Wemby 40-1, right? So
Yeah, that is absolutely a fun way to cover a 10-1. Wemby, I don't think there's a world where your Knicks cash and Wemby also gets it. Like there's no there's no loser of this game wins the MVP. I don't think. So it's mostly just a matter of covering your 10-1 stake. I guess the approach I would probably take is just sit on it until you can find a time in game. I don't know if you know this, but the NBA is a game of runs. Yeah. And in general, if you find an opportunity where the Knicks are up, and the Knicks are a very streaky team also. If you find a chance where the Knicks are up by 10, something like that, take the Spurs plus the points and shoot for the middle would be my strategy.
All right, interesting way to go about it. I always thought that the MLB was a game of runs, but apparently,
well, that's actually a game of runs. Yes.
Apologies for that one. I can already see the chat booing me. Let's move on and let's talk some NFL futures. You wanted to focus on let's call it like a Super Bowl exacta, maybe. So,
sure.
You want to talk us through that one?
Yeah, so I guess as we sit here and look at the landscape of the NFL playoff picture, it feels wildly uncertain, right? Mm-hmm. We don't know the seeding really for either conference. The NFC looks stronger than the AFC by margin, but it's tough to call considering we don't really know who's going to get home field advantage, and home field advantage is going to matter a lot in the NFC, in my opinion. I don't personally think that the Rams are all that likely to lose to Seattle on Thursday. The Seattle offense to me is a blinking red siren. Mm-hmm. And while, the greatness of the Rams offense, at least particularly these last 5 weeks, has been their ability to generate efficient running, that is, firing right into the strength of the Seattle defense. Like, this could be an ugly game. It could be a tough one. That's going to be terrible weather. And there's going to be no Devontae Adams. So there are certainly angles that I would say support Seattle being able to come away with the victory. But I think, no matter how I break this down, I'm seeing narrow Rams win, and that effectively locks them into the one. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's 2 more games in the season. Crazier things have happened. But I feel like the Rams beating Seattle, kind of creates a little bit of kind of crystallizes some of the rest of the playoff field in the NFC. You have a decent you have some other Rams at the one now, like just the fact that they don't have to play in the wild card round, and then who that sends their way as far as likely round 2 opponents is pretty favorable. So I think the Rams are going to be hosting your NFC title game. And I like them as at least 3-point favorites against everyone else in the field in that situation. So, Rams for me, I think, are going to the Super Bowl in the NFC if they win the game on Thursday, which I think they will. And then on the AFC side of the ball, man, it is flat earth. There are no especially strong teams. There's just weaknesses and holes everywhere. I think Josh Allen being the best quarterback is pretty obvious, and as a 5 seed can win on the road. And despite having a especially weak defense for the Buffalo Bills, Allen is enough of an incentive to back Buffalo to make a run in that conference. You could twist my arm that Houston does it. You could twist my arm that Jacksonville or Denver do it. Albeit you're talking about a lot of players without playoff, experience and bona fides, in particularly at the quarterback position there. So I think Allen has had the most experience getting deep into playoff runs, and with Mahomes out of the way, Bills finally get to a Super Bowl where I think the Rams take care of business, considering they have such a weak defense.
Yeah, the Etsy Witches have done their magic for the Buffalo Bills. They cleared a path. No Patrick Mahomes, potentially no Lamar Jackson either. It's what Bills fans have kind of been waiting for. But yeah, I think the Bills are probably agree with you there. They're probably the best team in the AFC. At least just having Josh Allen gives you that leg up over everyone, regardless of how bad their defense is. And we actually had this conversation yesterday on stream on our watch along. The Rams are of all the teams right now in the playoffs, the Rams feel like the team you can confidently say have like a top 5 offense and a top 10 defense, the most well-rounded by far. So like that look as well. The Seahawks, oh my goodness, the blinking red. What's Kubiak doing? Like, why is he so insistent on running the ball? Like, I don't even understand.
I don't think they trust Sam Darnold, and I mean, considering what he's shown from you since the Rams game the first time, I can't really blame them.
Yeah.
Like he's clearly a much better player than he was when he was a Jet, but he's not making tight window throws. He is, he's really like he's a JSN merchant.
Yeah.
The blinking red lights for me. Charles Cross was a DNP estimated yesterday. Abe Lucas got hurt. Now, if your two tackles are limited and you already have weakness in the interior of that O line, this is a bad matchup for Darnold. He's going to be under pressure, I think, a lot in this game.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense there. I will say though, we did a good job. I think was it last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm forgetting now. It was 2 weeks ago. Rams in the three spot. We might not get that, but Lions in their division. That one's looking.
Colts is a big one.
Colts
well. Missed the playoff from a million years ago, 5-1. Looking pretty good right now.
It's been a successful segment here for you, Drew. So we appreciate that, and we appreciate you coming on. Any final thoughts before we head out here on? Let's go with just this Week 15 slate. Give me your strongest opinion of this week. Week 16. Sorry, Week 16 slate.
Titans went out right.
Okay.
The Chiefs. The downgrade for the Chiefs is more than just Mahomes to Minshew. You're trotting Minshew out there behind an offensive line that doesn't have a healthy tackle to speak of. And Jeffrey Simmons match up against that interior O-line, Minshew is going to be an absolute maniac out there. I don't understand why we're getting I get 3.5. I think it's kind of in the 3 ballpark now. That's more correct, but it's still this game should be a pick in my opinion.
Yeah, an absolutely dejected Chiefs team who's like majority of these players never really been in this spot where you kind of miss the playoffs. So we'll see what it's like. Game right now is at 3.5 for the Chiefs, -104 at FanDuel. If you like Tennessee, you can get them +150 on the money line. Drew, appreciate you joining the show. Have a great happy holidays. If we don't see you next week, we'll chat soon.
All right, best luck, fellas.
Awesome stuff there from Drew. Great stuff. Love it. Hopefully, Rudy in the chat, you got some good info there for your NBA Cup hedge. I see him in the chat saying was thinking of the in-game play on Spurs money line as well. You could do that, but go for the middle. Try and win both. You don't have to do one or the other, right? We're not gardeners, we're bettors. We don't just want to hedge. We want to be able to try and hit both of them. So, anyways, let's bring on our next guest here. But before we do, just want to give you a quick shout out to our sponsors over at FanDuel. Buckets, buzzer beaters, and your choice of rewards. That's how FanDuel does basketball season. With FanDuel, you can choose your reward, play it your way, pick what fits your game, and take control of how you bet. Take your shot with a profit boost. Play it cool with a no sweat bet, or get a little backup with a bet back token. Hey, maybe you think that Wemby's going to play more minutes. You might want to hit him on an SGP. Or maybe you think that the Spurs are going to stink tonight and you're going to want to play the New York Knicks. However you want to play, whatever fits your game, the choice is yours. That's what happens when you play on a sportsbook built for your game. However you play, FanDuel's giving you the power to choose your reward. Head over to FanDuel.com/forwardprogress to make your choice. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Please play responsibly. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas and Philly, Kansas Star Casino, 18 plus present in DC, 19 plus and physically located in Ontario, 18 plus present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call Lineage Gambler. Visit rghelp.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelpline.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Call Connex Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 or visit connexontario.ca. All right. Up next, he's the CEO, the Hammer Betting Network. He's host of Circles Off, Circle Back, Forward Progress. He also hosts our Monday Night Football Watch Along. Last night he did it from a Dolphin suit. Let's see if he's going to be in a Dolphin suit today. Rob, how's it going?
Don't think I'm going to be in that Dolphin suit ever again.
It's just bad luck all around, and I blame G-Stack for it. You had such a wonderful start to your Dolphins, we'll call it mini fandom.
Yeah.
You had a beautiful dream. You were on a boat. Dolphins were beside you, and you're like, I'm going to take the Dolphins this week. Dolphins ended up winning that week. And then now here we are a couple weeks later, Dolphin costume on the body, and just absolutely blown out and embarrassed by the Steelers.
I didn't really know what I was getting into. Obviously, a bet is a bet, and this stemmed from Christmas Eve 2 years ago when the Cowboys were playing the Dolphins, and I bet G-Stack that the Cowboys would win the game. I've seen like dolphin suits before. You know, there's like these Halloween suits they're like, I don't know. It's just like fabric. It's like a onesie, basically. You put on the onesie. There's like a hood that comes over. That's kind of like a dolphin hood. That's what I thought was happening. Didn't realize I was going to be a giant inflatable for the majority of the night. Those suits get hot, man. Like when you're in there, you got the fan going, but the ventilation is not super strong. You can't sit down because the fan is like directly at your ass. So if you sit on it, it blocks all the airflow into the suit. It becomes a stage 5 roast in there. So I didn't know what I was getting into, but you know what? I leaned into it for a little bit. I did it as long as I could. And then when the game started to turn and the Steelers took over, I'm like, all right, that's now I'm done with this suit. So the bet has been settled, Jay. You could take some notes on settling wagers. I know you still owe $10, I think, to Suns 416.
It's not Suns. It's Levi, and he's
Levi.
Lying. He's not.
I don't know. I thought it was $20. Now it's $10. I don't know if you paid off some of it and you're on a payment plan or something like that. But regardless, that's a note in how to pay a debt right there.
I will say I still owe Kirk Evans a coffee or whatever from Starbucks, but he just won't let me get it for him for whatever reason. He just doesn't want it sitting here cold because I come to the office before him. Anyways, we'll probably.
Just like there's solutions.
I'll text him and ask him for his address. Maybe I'll Uber Eats it to him. We'll figure.
Just get them to put one of those stickers on the hole in the top of the lid. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Put it in the microwave.
He's picky. He's picky. He's a very picky guy, apparently.
I don't
not when it comes to Heisman.
Not when it comes to Heisman.
I will say though, it's a good thing that you had the suit on because I read today that released gas when farting could protect the brain from Alzheimer's if you smell it. So like you did a good job protecting yourself there.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a habanero chicken bowl before the show yesterday and a coffee, and got pretty gnarly inside that suit. We actually, I know we folded it up and we put it away in storage.
Yeah.
I think we should actually just burn it. I would feel bad for anyone who has to step into that thing at any point in the future.
I'm down to sacrifice it, but we need a good cause to sacrifice it for. Maybe like we'll use that as like a one-time type thing where we'll burn the dolphin suit.
Yeah. And I mean, it just that nobody else wants to step into that dolphin suit. Let's just leave it at that.
No chance. All
There's
right.
some stenches that are in there for sure.
All right, let's get into this week's game. First time in what feels like a long time. Thursday Night Football game is actually going to be a great game. Rams taking on the Seahawks. We've seen the total kind of trickle down a little bit on this game. Opened up at around 46.5. Now it's at 44.5, juice towards the under -118 at FanDuel. It looks like just before we hopped on as well, it was around a pick 'em at FanDuel, and now it's it looks like the Rams took a little bit of money here. I might be wrong. Yeah, they're at -112 at FanDuel. Any reason why you think that is? Could it be the tackle news for Seattle? Talk us through this game.
Yeah, so there's a lot of injury information to go through, and both teams had a walkthrough yesterday. But first and foremost, it's important to note that it's going to rain throughout this game. You're going to have wet ball, slick, field conditions, ugly grass there in Seattle. So you have to take that into account. I think that was part of the original move towards the under. Now, this isn't like, from what I can tell right now, it doesn't seem like torrential downpour, just one of those games where you get rain throughout, wet ball. But then you got injuries on both sides of things, and definitely the Charles Cross injury at left tackle for Seattle is one to monitor. They also had DeMarcus Lawrence hurt his quad in like walkthrough yesterday. I don't really know how that happens, but it happened for them. So two big injuries to monitor on the Seattle side of things. But then you get to the Rams, their left tackle, Alaric Jackson, who's been very, very good this year, is dealing with an ankle injury. You have Devontae Adams, obviously, who is very, very unlikely to play. You have Braden Fiske on the defensive line with an ankle injury for them as well. So it's like a lot of moving parts with this game. We're seeing right now in market, one of the sharpest books is actually at 43.5. So this has had enough money in the early week to move it through 44, which is a key number. I would imagine at some point there might be some interest in the other side and some buyback, but with the situations at tackle for both teams, the fact that these teams played each other and had, the Seahawks limited the Rams to one of their worst offensive success rates of the entire year. I think you lump that all together, plus the weather makes sense that we see some early under money here.
Yeah, Seahawks, like we talked about with Drew a couple minutes earlier, alarm bells going off. Kubiak might not be the guy who we thought he was. This offense could just be Jackson Smith and Jigba merchants all around.
Yeah, I struggle with that because the Seahawks all year offensively, they haven't really been great in the running game, but they've used it a lot to kind of set up the downfield shots. And now teams are really trying to take away those downfield shots and saying, hey, you want to run the ball on us? Fine, we'll run. We're not going to bite on the play action. And we really haven't seen the Seahawks adapt to that just yet. JSN did have like a bad drop last week. He's still getting open downfield. The receiving core is still really good. But at some point, these guys got to find something in the running game because if teams don't respect the run, then it's just going to be so much easier to play this play action. So interesting, but yeah, it really does feel like the Seahawks offense has been quote unquote found out here and slowing down a little bit.
Yeah. From one offense that's sort of slowing down to another that could they be picking up? No, I don't think so. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. Saw some Eagles money coming in. Spread was at 5.5 for the Eagles here. Now has moved out to 6.5 today. Any reason that is that just the Mariota news that Daniels is shut down for the season? Anything I'm missing here?
There was a little bit of a move on that. We're going to have to see when practices start tomorrow, the status of the left tackle for Washington, Laramie Tunsil. Tunsil is a beast on the offensive line. He's dealing with an oblique injury. There's not a ton to play for the Commanders at this point in the season. So unless he's, fully healthy, I don't know that they'll force him back in this game. And that's going to be a significant loss for the Commanders and something that would definitely move the line. You have some upside in that Lane Johnson is going to be back at practice for the Eagles as well this week. Whether he plays this week or next, we don't know just yet, but he's going to practice and potentially he's out there on the field. So from that perspective, I can see the early Eagles money. I do think that there's going to be Commanders support at some point. It might not be here. Maybe it has to touch 7 before we get Commanders support. But it's important to note, Jason, listen, it's only the Raiders. The Eagles stomped the Raiders. You can't take too much away from that game. But Jalen Hurts was using his legs a lot more. We kind of heard that a few weeks ago, that they wanted to get him more involved in the RPO, get him on the run a bit more. We're starting to see that. I don't know that it's fundamentally going to change a lot of things offensively for them, but regardless, the upside of Tunsil potentially being out and the Eagles offense, throwing some new wrinkles in last week, even against a bad team. I understand the early market support, but I do think that this one might go back and forth.
All right, let's flip over and talk Tampa Bay and Carolina. The Bucks opened at 2.5, and now it's out to around a 3. It seems like teams aren't believing in the Carolina Fighting Eagles. Talk us through this move here, and if you think we'll get past this 3 into 3.5, and we'll see more money, come in on Tampa Bay.
I would be absolutely floored if that happens. I'll also be pretty surprised if the Panthers don't get bought at 3 when limits start to get a little bit bigger in this game. Tampa Bay definitely better in the fact that you look at their offense now and it's at full health. You have Evans, you have Godwin, who's actually looking okay. Offensive line looking decent. Bucky Irving back. So, you're pricing them higher in market and they have extra rest going into this game. We saw them take a bunch of money Thursday against the Falcons in that game as well. So I think the market sentiment on Tampa Bay might be flipping a little bit, but at some point you just got to ask yourself, Tampa to win by margin here, they're laying 3 means they got to win by 4 for you to cover. I do think Carolina will get bought at some point. They play a lot of close games. They're a little bit better at home. I don't see too big of a gap between these two teams. Not necessarily saying that I'm going to be betting Carolina big in market here, but I do think that there's going to be some support for them at some point here.
Yeah, if you like them now, and maybe you might want to get in before this line moves back. We'll see if this 3 sticks throughout the week. All right, next game you want to talk about is Atlanta and Arizona. A lot of actions. You're telling me a lot of actions on both sides and the total. Just talk us through this one and the back and forth we've seen sort of in market.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest moves of the week. I think when I was on air with Clive for Sunday Reset, this was Atlanta -1.5, and the total in the game was 45.5, some 46s. So this got bombed towards the over. That was definitely the direction I leaned. I didn't get much of that. I personally bet a little bit of Atlanta so far as well. You potentially have Drake London coming back for this game. We don't know, but 10 days rest between the Thursday night game and here. Hasn't practiced yet. So again, it's not a guarantee. But on the Arizona side of things, this is the worst injury situation of the entire year. Yes, it's late. It's week 16, but they're heavily dismantled on the offensive line. Their receiving core is in shambles. Marvin Harrison Jr. was 3 times DNP last week. They lost Bam Knight to injury this week as well. So like they're running out of running backs at this point. Defensively, injuries at every single level. They lost another linebacker in Cody Simon. So for me, the handicap made a lot of sense towards Atlanta. I know that it's kind of weird to see this price, but I think the average casual fan rates Arizona a little bit too highly because Brissett is a competent quarterback, and he shows the ability to sling it. They scored 20 on Houston last week with 4 of their starting 5 offensive linemen out. It's pretty impressive. So I understand the over money. It's fundamentally hard for me to get behind that against this Falcons defensive front that is very good at generating pressure on the interior. They do blitz a lot. I think that's going to cause problems for the Cardinals. So listen, I get why the over got bet, but I mean, that's a significant move through 47. And for me, the Falcons made a lot more sense. And, that's not surprising. Whether or not we get out to a full 3, I don't know here, but it could go that way.
Yeah, 2.5 right now, minus 115 for the Falcons. So we're starting to see it trickle there a little bit. Sharper books out there have it 2.5 minus 116 and Arizona at plus 103. So we might be very, very close to move out to 3. Let's talk about Houston and Vegas. My survivor pick this week, Houston Texans. We saw Houston get bought out. It looks like from 11.5 all the way out to like 14.5 right now. And the over also got hit a little bit, even though it's still a lower total at 38.5. But yeah, a little bit of over money coming in as well. Talk us through this one here.
A little bit surprising for me that there's really any rush to do anything with this game. I guess maybe some people think the Raiders are just so bad, got to get out ahead of any line move, take the Texans here. That's fine. I can understand it. The more surprising thing for me is the move towards the over. And listen, granted, the opener of 37.5, that's very low for an indoor game on turf, right? I mean, Houston can score. Their offense is better than people give it credit for as the year's gone on. They just struggled with red zone efficiency. But on the other side of the ball, I mean, the Raiders had 1.8 yards per play last week. They generated like a 26% success rate against the Eagles. They're taking on a very similar caliber defense, probably a better defense in the Texans this week. And where are the opportunities going to come from to score here? Maybe Houston is just that good. They're going to create some short fields for themselves. And someone's like, wow, this total's way too low for this types of conditions. But honestly, I don't know that I agree. I mean, I just struggle to see the path to success for the Raiders offense in this game. And Houston is notoriously a team that when they get out in front, they do like to sit on it. They like to run the ball, bleed clock. They're not a team that typically separates like they did. I mean, you look at last week's game, Houston, Arizona. One of the reasons that Houston continuously had to score is that Arizona was hanging around enough in that game. They were kind of within a couple scores for the majority of the game. Houston, they still had to run their offense. If this gets out to something like 20-0 for Houston, they're just going to sit on it here. So I'm surprised, honestly, at the over money in this game. Directionally, I lean towards the under here, and I'll be interested to see where this one ends up.
All right. Then the last game you want to talk about here is the Monday Night Football game, San Fran at Indianapolis. We're going to be doing that live watch along together, and we got some good news last night. Jeff confirmed he will be live in studio for the entirety of the Phillip Rivers show. I mean, is it really the Phillip Rivers show considering they're 6.5-point underdogs? San Fran getting bet out right now. The over also getting bet out right now. Talk us through both these moves with the over catching some money here and San Fran getting bet out when feels like they're I guess you'll talk about their defense, but talk about the San Fran.
Well, I think first and foremost, the San Fran offense is really good. We got to monitor Ricky Pearsall here. He got banked up again this week, but since Brock Purdy's return, the offense has been fantastic, and they can move the ball through the air pretty efficiently. and you look at where the Colts struggle, I mean, they're pretty weak in the secondary right now, at corner especially, with Charvarius Ward on IR, Sauce Gardner is out, right? So that's a very fundamental path to success for points. And I do think the 49ers offense will continue humming as the year goes on. The question is whether or not the Colts can take advantage of the 49ers defense, and in particular, their defensive front, which is in shambles. I mean, they're running out of defensive linemen and linebackers. It's a mess for them. So in theory, maybe the Colts are able to lean on the run here and continuously move downfield and keep it close. But early market, they don't want to put any faith in Phillip Rivers at this point, at least not on the Colts side. I think a lot of people think that was an anomaly last week against Seattle. Good effort, but ultimately Rivers didn't. I mean, 110 yards on 27 pass attempts, not great at all. Doesn't look like a NFL caliber offense with the 44-year-old quarterback. So early money to San Fran. And I think the over move here again, if they don't necessarily have to be correlated, right? These are different markets. Someone might bet the side on San Fran, and someone might have different reasons for betting the total. But there is a path to success for the Colts on the ground here. Right. I mean, that you look at that front for the 49ers, they can easily be moved around.
Yeah, the linebacking core for the 49ers is just also just in shambles until they can get a little bit healthier. It's going to be tough for them. But yeah, that wraps up everything here. Last thing before I let you out, we have a question in the chat for you. I know you've been kind of, I don't want to say unplugged from the hockey world, but you kind of haven't been betting as much hockey as you normally do. You've been doing really well on the NFL, so that's kind of been your focus. Charles is asking you, do you have an opinion on the Skinner versus Jari trade? Is there any opinion you have there? Is it just like same guy, Spider-Man meme? What talk us through that?
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. So full disclosure, I'm not betting hockey right now. Typically, I would have got started in late October, but the NFL season, plus on top of that, the content we're doing here at the Hammer is occupying a lot of my time, and I just don't have the ability to keep up that much. But Skinner for Jari, I think the Spider-Man meme is actually perfect for that. Yeah. You know, it's kind of the same guy, but listen, in some instances, it's kind of worth it to shake it up every now and then, right? They just couldn't get it done with Skinner. You bring in another goalie, maybe that changes things. Ultimately, I don't think it's going to have a massive difference. I think it's still going to be their weak point at some point or another. But yeah, that's my thought on it. I don't think it moves the needle whatsoever.
All right. Doesn't move the needle at all. Sounds good. That's it. Rob, appreciate you joining the show. Hopefully you can go and get some rest after a busy night for you in the Dolphin suit. Appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Jay.
All right, awesome stuff there from Rob. Yeah. If you're enjoying the show, do us a favor. Smash the like button. It goes a long way here on the channel. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you're not new to the channel and you've been here before, double check, make sure you're subscribed. Yeah, we're going to bring on the Edric guys in just a second. Before we do that, quick reminder. Tuesday Best Bet Show, live, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Jacob claims it's the better Best Bet Show between the two. Even though Rob is on, our boss is on the Thursday show, Jacob's staking his claim, saying, no, fuck that show. Tuesday's better. G-Stack, George, Flup, and do we have a third guest today?
No, just the duo for today.
We got the duos going in, dropping in.
Flup's final Tuesday Best Bets of the season.
Really?
Yeah.
What's he doing week 17, week 18?
Well, it's going to be...
we're switching it up.
Switching it up for Christmas and New Year's Eve week. New Year's week.
Forgot about that. Can't believe Christmas is next week. It's like Christmas Eve is a week from now.
We're here.
It's crazy. Time flies.
Let's before we bring them on, let's do Guess the line, though.
Of course.
We got a minute here. So we'll do Guess the Line. I'm going to give Jason 3 different lines to guess, obviously.
Yep.
And he's going to get 3 tries. I'm going to give him the over or under on his first 2 guesses to see if he can get it by the third guess. We're going to start off hot. Harrison Barnes, points, rebounds, and assists in tonight's NBA Cup final. So he's had a great season. However, number is lower because Victor Wembanyama is back from injury.
When I saw Harrison Barnes pop up on my screen, I said, I don't know who this is. I know the name Harrison Barnes, but like the player card, don't know, couldn't recognize it. Maybe Alex and so many can play in the background here. I feel like this guess is going to be way off. 21.5.
Under.
Okay. I thought it was going to be maybe too high. What type of player is he? Is he a guard? Is he a forward?
He's a forward.
Forward. Okay.
Good shooter, but can do a lot of stuff pretty well.
Okay, let's go with
solid player.
16.5.
Under.
12.5.
15.5.
Oh, okay. All right. That was.
So take the L the first one. Next
so
up,
I got to bet it's over then because obviously I think it should be higher, even though I know nothing. Blind betting it.
Next we have the total in the Bengals and Dolphins game. I think it's Saturday, a Sunday game.
Sunday game. Yeah, 0 because I'm not watching it. No. Total. 2 good offenses, 2 horrible defenses. Like, let's go 48.5.
Higher.
We're in the 50s.
I think so many was guessing 40 in the background.
52.5.
Under.
Okay.
You got a window.
51.5.
50.5. 0 for 2. Last one up. Jordan Love, pass completions as the Packers play the Bears primetime slot on Saturday.
34.5.
Under. Completions, not attempts.
Oh, sorry, completions.
Unless
no.
Unless that was.
I was thinking attempts.
Actually, yeah, I certainly hope so.
Thinking attempts.
That counts as your guess, though.
Fuck. 21.5.
Under.
Fuck. 19.5.
20.5. 0 for 3 today. You kind of sold on
that
first
close
guess.
with the asterisks.
You sold on the first guess, and you blew it. 0 for 3 today.
All right. Well, hopefully I don't do it. Hopefully the guys coming up next don't do as bad as I did right there on our edge replays. But I don't think they will because I think they've been pretty hot. So let's bring them up. Yeah. Or maybe make them wait. Oh, okay, fine. We'll bring them up. There they are. So money, Alex. How's it going today? Anything big? Any opinions on the NHL coming out this past week? Any opinions on the Skinner trade, or do we really cover it with Rob where it's just Spider-Man meme?
Oh, nothing big happened this week, right?
Okay, let's talk about the.
I think Jari's a little bit better. I think Jari's a little bit better.
Okay, fair, but yeah, I was kind of making a joke. Let's talk about the Quinn Hughes trade, because so money. I'll give you the floor. I have my own opinions. I'm sure Alex has his own opinions as well. What are your thoughts on it?
Look, he didn't want to be here. He had checked out. He didn't want to be here. He was tired of losing, tired of management, whatever the case was. He did not want to be here, right? It's like, stop chasing after the girl. She doesn't like you, bro. You got to move on, right? So it's the exact same thing. Canucks had to move on. Mm-hmm. They had to trade him. It had to be this way. There's no other way. There's absolutely no other way. Now, in terms of the return that they got, they did the best they could, right? Like they're getting a very good young left-handed defenseman that they've been trying to find for years. They have one there. They have a forward who can hopefully slot into the second line center role at some point. And they got another forward who hopefully gets into a top 9 role and can be an effective top 9 player. And they got a first round draft pick. What else do you want, right? So I think that the Canucks did the best they could. I think that in terms of moving forward, this had to be a culture change, right? I talked about it last week. What happened last year is just so egregious to me. Like I don't think I can overstate how pissed off I am still about last year, right? Like you had 2 guys that basically ruined the entire season for whatever personal issues that they had, right? So they couldn't squash, like 2 grown-ass men on a professional hockey team could not squash any issue that they had that, from what I understand, had nothing to do with any women involved. So like, that just makes it worse to me, right? If there's no women involved and you still can't get over your issues, that just drives me nuts, right? And then you had no leadership in sight, right? Tocchet had already checked out. He was gone. He knew he was going to leave. Where was Quinn Hughes in all of this? Who is wearing the C, right? And you don't get a pass from me. You can't be wearing a C when 2 guys in your fucking locker room, they can't get over their issues. That is on you as well. So he never got the pass from me. And it sucks to say because he's the second most probably the second most talented player to ever put on a Canucks jersey, but he had to go, and it just had to be this way. So now we can move forward.
All right. Now we move forward. Alex, do you have an opinion on the trade? Because I have opinions. Do you want to quickly? So money. Appreciate your rant, by the way. That was incredible. Passion. We love it. Alex, any thoughts?
Well, I think that they did as well as they could with this return. I do like the return. Obviously losing a player of that stature for, like, I mean, they got a good return, but like, it sucks to lose a guy like that. But like, they clearly were at a crossroads. He wasn't staying. They were blessed by the fact that he didn't have a no trade clause, although he probably would have waived it anyways to get out of there. But like, you look at the Marner situation and like, look, obviously Marner needed to go, but like, it was a similar situation where like, I think it was kind of best for team and player to just move on and like, let's see what this looks like without him. But the Leafs couldn't get anything for him. So the Leafs, like, the Canucks didn't wait. They saw that this was going to come to a head no matter what. Let's get out of this while we can, and let's plan our future without him because he's not going to be here long term anyways. So I think the timing was good there. They didn't wait till he was a pending UFA. They didn't risk losing him for nothing. They got as good of a return as they possibly could have gotten. I think Bouillam's going to be like legitimate, like very, very, very good. I like that. And obviously, Rossi is maybe not like prototypical type of center you want in this NHL, like in a kind of a playoff landscape, but like still a very good player. And I think they did really well with this return. So honestly, I think if you're so money, obviously the way that we reached this point sucks, but like the fact that you did reach this point at least, and now it played out the way it did, I think you can kind of turn a new leaf here and look forward to brighter days ahead.
Yeah, the Marner situation is way different than this, though. It's like the Leafs were like cup contenders in terms of odds. Like, I'm not talking about like, you can think whatever you want about the team.
Yes, for sure. For sure. It's different in the sense where like they were at different stages when they moved on from the player 100%. But like the Canucks were cup contenders 2 years ago. I mean, they finished first in the West, and I mean, make of it what you want. Like they were at one point not too long ago. They were a team that could have gone. They were Game 7 away from beating the Oilers, who went on to go to the Cup final, right? Yeah. So like they were close, but obviously it's spiraled since then with JT Miller stuff and whatever. And
maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm just like too high on some of these guys, but I thought they actually did really like an incredible job in getting a return. You essentially got four first round picks, which is like almost unheard of in the NHL. And you also got some guys who like you said, the Buim trade, getting Buim, I think, is really, really good. I thought he's the best defender in that draft. I think his upside is incredible. I lost so much money on him in the draft, by the way, for him not going third. I don't know if you guys remember that. And who was it? Was it Merrick?
I do.
Was it Merrick who said he's going third overall? Right? Yeah, I had some great plus money prices on him being like so. Anyways, lost a ton of, but he's a really good player. Also, like Marco Rossi, like I think there's still room for growth. Like he kind of got his development stunted with early in his career. So a lot of room for growth here, Ogren. We'll see what we can get. But four first round picks, as good as you can get. And you actually get to properly like rebuild now, which I think is a good situation. Like
I love it for Minnesota too. Like this isn't to say like Minnesota gave up way too much. Like if you have a chance to get a player like that, go out and do it. I respect that. Like they're not like scared to take a swing. Like Bill Guerin's never been one to be scared, but go out and take a swing. Like they're going to be a fun team right now to watch going forward with that star power they have.
Absolutely. And plus, listen, like your window is now. You're going to have to be paying $17.5 million over the next 8 seasons for Kirill Kaprizov after this year. So go for it. Go for it now. Might as well. Anyways, let's get into the games. So money, if it makes you feel better, I like the return a lot. So good on you guys. And we will be, we are all Canucks in this through these trying times. And let's start with the Canucks games here. Rangers taking on the Canucks, -122 on the money line. Totals at 5.5, juice towards the over, -120 over at FanDuel. So, Money, I'll give you a little bit of a break talking about your Canucks. I'll let Alex lead with this one. Alex, any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I bet an under here. Pull up the screen and see what prices are available. Under looks like we're looking at 5.5s across the board now. It's a rogue 6 -117, but the 5+ money or 5.5+ monies are good too. I really like this under. If you look at how the Rangers have been playing without Fox, they've kind of morphed their game quite a bit. I know that game on Saturday went off the rails, but that's going to happen from time to time. Canucks also generated nothing against the Devils the other night. Like they're going to have to obviously change the way they play a little bit too here. Just two teams that are I think capable of locking it down a little bit defensively and want to kind of play that way because of the lack of scoring talent up front. So yeah, also on a back-to-back for the Rangers, which kind of plays into the offensive side of things here. Expect a bit of a response game after that 4-1 loss last night, and that's going to come on the back end. So yeah, under 5.5 plus money is still good. This one's run a little bit, and I still think it has room to go. So
yeah, plus money's out there. So money, you like this one here, or you sitting off the Vancouver Canucks? You're just swearing them off for a little bit, like give yourself the holidays, then you'll be back in on them.
No, actually, I'm back in already. I bet the under with Alex. I like the plus money there
Double
as well
best
on the
bet.
5.5. Yeah, and then for just for the exact same reasons Alex was saying too, where we have the Rangers team. We know how they've been playing. Canucks, they've really tightened it up as well. They kind of have to. And Demko, I believe we don't have the confirmation yet, do we? But yeah, I'm assuming that he's going to start. I'd be surprised if he doesn't start. So we know what we're going to get out of the Canucks. I also bet the Canucks as well. I think that at plus money, it's still fine. I know I come in higher on the Rangers than most do, but I'm really not liking what I'm seeing out of their game right now. Even their win against Montreal was a win that they should have had, and they deserved that win. But before that game, they weren't exactly playing up to what I need them to be. And I was on them last night, and they kind of cost me there as well. So, and that was a game that they didn't deserve to win at all. So, I'm a little concerned about their play. And from the Canucks, I think that I was encouraged with the way that they played against New Jersey. Now, when you dig deeper into that game, they didn't necessarily deserve to win that game, but they also parked the bus as well. Once they, for whatever reason, they did park the bus once they got the 2-0 lead. So I think that we need to take that into account as well. And that was the first game without Quinn. The new guys are still getting integrated. I think that in a tight, close game, I think that the Canucks have enough at the plus money to be able to get us the win here.
Yeah, great debut for Zeev, though. 2 points, right? Goal.
Outstanding.
Good stuff. All right, let's go into the next game here. Islanders taking on the Red Wings. Red Wings right now at home, minus 138 on the money line. Totals at a flat 6, minus 110. Both sides at FanDuel. So money. Let's start with you. Also, Demko was confirmed. Jordan Mosel, resident goalie expert in the chat, confirming that for us. Thank you, Jordan.
Perfect.
New York, Detroit. Sorry, Islanders, Red Wings. Flat 6, minus 110. Both sides. Anything you like here? So money.
Yeah, this is just a little bit of a tough one because I did want to bet Detroit here, but the number's just gone. It's just I didn't get to it, and now it's just gone too far. So that kind of sucks. Yeah, so I'll have nothing in this game. Under intrigues me a bit just because I like the way that Detroit has been playing defensively lately. Also, the Islanders are trying to play better defensively, but they're not fully there yet. And until I see them get there fully, which I think is going to happen, but I just can't get there right now. So I will pass on this game. Would have liked Detroit at a cheaper number. Lean the under, but in the end, I'll have nothing here.
All right, nothing for So Money here right now, live on air. Alex, you like anything in this game?
No, nothing for me here either. I do think that some Islanders regression is going to hit here soon. Like they're not generating enough offensively. Defensively, they've really turned things around a little bit. Like obviously led by Schaefer. They're still kind of they don't quite have the horses beyond Schaefer. It thins out a bit in a hurry, but like they're playing a better team game. Offensively, they're not generating a lot, and they're scoring on so many of their chances, especially lately. And that's not going to be something that is sustainable. But for now, they've found a way to make it sustainable, and I'm not going to step in front of it, not at least at this price right now. So I have abstained from betting this game.
I always chuckle to myself every time you're anti Anti-Islanders.
Yeah, I know.
Even though it's listen,
you always,
it's fair.
I always
It's
hear
fair.
you laugh. I'm like, it's nothing to do with Schaefer. It's
I
literally
know.
nothing to do. I've said how many times can I say Schaefer is incredible? Like I can't say that enough now.
Yeah.
I feel like I always need to preface it too. Every time I'm going to say something like bad about the Islanders, like this team isn't that good. But like Schaefer's amazing. Really Don't worry, I'm not like
No, minus 230 right now to win the Calder versus the Field. If you want to take the Field, plus 176, which is not as good as the early Demidov numbers that you got, but if you like the Field, go for it. Next game we have to talk about. Sorry, is Montreal and taking on the Flyers. Canadians right now at home, minus 130. Totals at 5.5, minus 126 towards the over at FanDuel. Alex, your Habs, your team. Talk us through this one here. Anything you like?
No bet here. I have a slight lean to the over, which I didn't play. And now that the under's kind of taking some money, but like it's tough. Matheson is out. That was kind of honestly, that wasn't even the reason behind the Flyers money because it happened. The Flyers money kind of came in before Matheson because the market doesn't generally care about players at all. Matheson matters though. Like he plays a lot for this team. He logs a lot of minutes. In a weird way, this is one of those situations though where I kind of think Matheson hurts a little bit less because they've been like Marty just has this thing where he wants to rely on Matheson nonstop in all the high leverage situations. And that's not the way he should be playing. He should be in that sweet spot of like 19 to 20 minutes a night, not like the 23 or whatever that they seem to be wanting to give him. They're going to lean now more on that Hudson-Dobson pairing, which has been together for the last few games and has been outstanding since they've been put together. Now that's the pairing he's going to go with constantly. So I think that's going to help them out a little bit. But it also thins out in a hurry behind them now. So like you're looking at a potential third pairing of like, maybe Engstrom and Struble, which is going to be extremely sheltered, a bit of a tougher one there. So that's why I kind of lean over a little bit. Habs are getting the offense going right now. Slavkovsky's been fantastic, really driving that second line. He's honestly been their best forward for over a month now. So I like what they've been doing offensively a little bit. And I think Philly's still can be a little bit chaotic at times, but they have tightened things up here. So I'm just going to stay off of this one altogether. I think it's fair that some Philly money came in, but I think if anything, you could say that maybe we've gone a tad too far here. But without Matheson, I'm not going to go against this money.
All right, no bet here from Alex. Long story short, up next,
yes.
So money. Hopefully that's not a theme today, right?
No, I have. Well, I mean, I don't have a ton, but I got more bets coming.
All right, that's okay. It's all good. Let's move on to so money. Any opinion on this game, or you just want to get into the next one?
No, I do have an opinion on this game. I bet the Flyers here.
All right.
I like the way that they've been playing. You go back a little bit after their So you look at their wins. Firstly, the last little bit here against Buffalo and San Jose, two teams that they should have gotten wins from, and they did. They played Colorado tight, and then here, look at their last 4 losses here. Right, they played Colorado tight. It was a 3-2 game, and then Vegas, Carolina, both all 3 games go past regulation. All 3 games, I thought that the Flyers hung around. And we've talked about the Flyers as being a feisty team, and they are gonna hang around. They've been playing good hockey against stiffer competition, and now, sorry Alex, but we are stepping down in competition against the Habs.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
So I do. There's nothing I'm seeing from the Flyers that makes me think that we're not gonna see them bring the same game that they have been playing. And if they do bring that same game, then the plus money here shows a lot of value, especially with Vladar and Ned, who I like quite a bit and who has been playing well this year. So it was a pretty simple handicap for me. Flyers show value at this current number with the way that they've been playing against better competition.
All right. Taking the Flyers here, plus 108 right now at FanDuel. That's a good price. What number you need? What number would you bet it down to?
That's fine. I'll take anything plus money.
Anything plus money is what we're looking for. One of the better prices in market here, plus 108 over.
The disrespect is unbelievable.
What you the floor is yours. Talk. Why is that unbelievable?
Oh, it's just disrespectful. I'm sitting right here, and he's gonna sit here and tell me that that he wants to bet the Flyers against my Habs. I can't even look at him right now.
I'll let you rewind and bet the Rangers if you want tonight.
No, I have no interest in betting Rangers tonight. Also, I have no interest in betting the Habs tonight. So there you go.
All right, let's move on to the next game then. The Quack Pack, Anaheim Ducks taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets at home right now, minus 150 favorites on the money line at FanDuel. Totals, high total like we always see for these Ducks games, 6.5 minus 132 towards the over. We're going to see a 7 here. Holy smokes. So Money, I'll let you lead the way. Anything you like in this game?
Usually I would be all over this over, but it's just gone too far. And the Ducks are a little bit inconsistent right now defensively. They try to mix in some low-event games in between all the crazy pond hockey that they like to play. The last few games, actually, it's been lower event. So basically what I'm saying is I'm not going to be on the over for sure. I think that there might be some value on the under, but I'm not there yet. I don't want to bet Anaheim right now. Even though they looked good last night, I still have some doubts about the way that their play has been headed. But I'm not going to bet Columbus at this number either. So long way of saying, I'm going to pull off on Alex here, is that I will pass unless if this number, for whatever reason, gets to a 7, then I will bet the under. But other than that, it's going to be a pass from me.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the market moves here. It flashed 7 at FanDuel, under minus 164 though, so a lot of juice on that one. Alex, anything you like in this game, or are you just on to the next one?
I did bet over here. Okay. I agree with So Money that the Ducks have changed things slightly of late. I was on the under last night once we got the Dostal confirmation. But again, I think a lot of it is matchup dependent. You look at who they played lately. They played, a Devils team that likes to play in mud. They have played the Rangers last night, who have been playing, similarly. An Islanders team that has struggled to generate offense. It has changed up quite a bit. This Blue Jackets team is more than content going toe to toe with you, and they are. If the Ducks want to get back to that run and gun style they've been playing so much, the Jackets will have no issues matching that. They'll have fun doing it. So I think there is still potential for this to get a little crazy. That being said, we have run a far way now. There's still minus 120 available, minus 121. I think that's about as far as I'd go. So if you have access to those, which hopefully a lot of people do, I'm still good betting that. But if you don't, I mean, it doesn't sound like a big difference, but that 4 or 5 cents from minus 120, 121 to minus 125 is still significant. So I would probably lay off it at that price, but hopefully everyone can still get those minus 120, minus 121, because I think it's still a decent bet at that number. Again, I think a lot of what we've seen from Anaheim lately is strictly just matchup dependent. They're very much a team that is willing to morph to the style of their opponent, and Columbus is also similar in that regard. So I think, two younger teams with a lot of fun offensive players, I think this has potential to kind of go off the rails, and we're getting Husso, who also has extreme blow up potential.
All right, let's move on to the next game. Utah Mammoths taking on is it the Mammoth or the Mammoths? Mammoth.
No S.
I thought it was the Yetis. Anyways, Mammoth taking on the Bruins. Yetis to pick them, minus 110 both sides here. Totals at 6.5, juice towards the under, minus 126. Talk us through this one. Alex, let you lead.
I bet over here, over 6. I think over 6 to minus 120. I'm still okay with it. There's still minus 120s available. There's minus 116 available, I see as well. So if you can get over 6, I think that is still good. This is a Utah team that's still playing very high event hockey, and a Devils team that it's been such a morning. And a Bruins team that is just kind of a mess defensively. They're still pretty chaotic. They still give up a lot. Swayman is in net, so he does mask some of that, but I still think they're giving up too much to to be at 6 right now. And this, especially with how this Utah team is content playing and how they're kind of struggling defensively. The Bruins are still a pretty elite finishing team. And now you got Vanacek in net too. So I just thought this one was a little bit off, especially from where it kind of was this morning. Obviously, we've come a little bit since then, but I'm still okay with it up to -120 at these 6s.
All right, -120 at the 6 is what we're looking at here. So, Money, you agree with this one?
I don't disagree, but I have my reservations. But I will not bet at the current number, though.
Okay.
So I will pass on the total. I did bet Utah, though. I think that as much as I like Boston as a team, and I've talked them up quite a bit, I think that they're starting to be priced at a level that they're not at. And I think that we're going to start seeing, I'm already seeing signs in their play that, and the numbers bear it out here, that we're probably going to see a little bit of a dip in their play. And I think that Utah is starting to play better as well. So I think that you want to get in front of those situations. It's a long season. Teams are going to go up and down. And if you can identify which teams are starting to head in different directions, those are the opportunities where you're going to find value in the market. So I think that's one of the situations here where I do see that with both of these teams kind of headed in different directions. The other thing that helps with this number is that Vejmelka's not starting. We're going to get Vanacek in net. And call me crazy, but I don't think that there's that big of a drop-off with the way that Vanacek has been playing so far this year. So, I think that bodes well for us. So I did bet Utah. I think I can't see this number going anywhere far if there's no news in this game. So up to -115, I think that will be available all day.
All right, let's flip over and talk the next game here. Chicago and Toronto. Leafs at home tonight. Joseph Wall back in the game. So, Money, I'll let you take the lead on this one. Totals at 5.5, -118, juice towards the over. Leafs -205 on the money line. Anything you like in this game?
Yeah, I would have liked the under here, but the thing is, a couple of problems. We're already at the 5.5, so where do you see it? Right? If it's already at 5.5, I don't know where else we needed to go. So obviously at the 6, I would have been all over the under. 5.5, I can't do it. Wall back, that's good news for the under. Chicago hasn't been able to generate much, obviously, with there's some kid there that they're missing. So that's gonna hurt them. And the other problem with the reason why I can't get to the 5.5 is that Chicago's really started struggling defensively as well. So that's keeping me off it as well. So nothing for me. Would have liked the 6, would have taken a shot at the 6, but I can't do anything right now.
Yeah, you can blame Joey Pucks on that one. Talked about it on Hit the Books yesterday. I think he had this under 6. So getting ahead of the market here with Edric. Maybe we got to bring him on one day for Edric. I feel like not reliable though. Can't bring him on.
Well, why bring Joey Knish on? Why don't we just bring on the source of his bets
I don't know
instead
who
of
that is.
the mover who moves the guys? But I know who it is. I talk to him every day.
Okay.
But yes, I did bet under in this game. I still don't. I do agree that I don't love it. So okay, let me map this out. I bet under 6. I thought under 6 was really, really good up to like -120. I still like under 5.5 plus money, but I like it less for a smaller play. What I instead then did was once the Blackhawks took money this morning and the total was already kind of in place, I then bet Blackhawks team total under 2.5, which you can still get at some very good prices, -120, -115. I bet some -110. I'm betting like -125. I also bet the Leafs because the Blackhawks have taken money now, and I bet some Leafs -185, and I bet some -1.5 plus 145. I think this Chicago team cannot be punished enough for losing Bedard. Yeah. It is just such a massive, massive, massive loss for them. Like he leads all forwards in goals, assists, but like underneath the hood there, he like is nearly double the amount of shots and shot attempts as the next best forward on the team at all strengths and at 5-on-5. I mean, he is like their whole engine. Without him, it is so bleak up front. I just don't see how they generate, especially against the Leafs team here that I think we will see quite a response from, especially defensively. Obviously, Ekman-Larsson really struggled Saturday night. He was clearly not healthy. Looked like he was going to be out for months after that injury he suffered against San Jose. Somehow he was in the lineup again the next night. So I mean, this is a huge game for the Leafs. Like, they need a response. It will be extremely, extremely concerning for this team if they are to go out and lay an egg here and lose this game, because like your playoff hopes are dwindling. You're coming off a really embarrassing loss on home ice on Saturday night against the Oilers, a bad defensive performance that followed a game on Thursday where you blew a late lead against the Sharks and lost in overtime, where your captain like didn't even back check, and now he's being called out. People are saying, is he washed? Like, he needs to address this stuff. He comes out, he doesn't take accountability. He says we all need to be better. It's just like, there's potential for this to get really ugly really fast. It will be in their best interest to go out there and just put in a performance against the worst team in the NHL when they don't have Connor Bedard, and just win this game. And I think we do see a response. I do think it got a little bit cheap with all that Blackhawks money. I don't think it's properly priced in just how much Bedard means to this team. So like, this is, at this point, like, this is by far my most heavily bet game of the day, of the month now, like, because I've got Leafs puck line, I've got under, and I've got Blackhawks team total under. So if this is like a 4-3 Hawks overtime win, I won't be coming on Thursday, and you probably won't see me until after Christmas. So best wishes to all of you if that's the case.
All right, maybe we got to get Joey Pucks then if that's the case, if that's what's happening.
Yeah.
There. But all right, let's move on then. Edmonton and Pittsburgh. Edmonton, right now on the road, -150 on the money line. Totals at 6.5, -110. Both sides here. Alex, I'll let you lead on this one. Anything you like?
No, I don't. I'm excited for the sort of revenge game here. We got Jarry and Skinner both confirmed. I am excited to see them go head to head right now with their new teams. That's about it. I don't have anything in this game. I think it's kind of fair. The Oilers are figuring it out a little bit, and then they take a step back, and they just can't seem to get momentum going. Pittsburgh, I think, maybe is starting to fall off, but like we've said that before, and then they find a way to turn things around. So like, I really, really want to bet Edmonton here. But like, it's so narrative-y, but like, man, the way Skinner has sort of been cast out of town and like been the scapegoat for all their issues that run much deeper, I am a little bit concerned that he just comes out and is like a big FU to the Oilers and finds a way to turn in a heroic performance and help the Pens win this game. So I'm just going to stay away from it. I lean Edmonton, but like, the number is a bit big, and Skinner scares me. I haven't said that in a positive light before. Normally he scares me when I'm betting an under, but here I am saying he scares me off of betting against him.
All right, scared of Skinner revenge game, McDavid revenge game on Skinner, Jarry revenge game. Who wins out the revenge game? Who wins out? I don't know. So money, any opinion on the revenge game?
I have a lot of opinions on this game. I bet the under here. A little crazy, wild, I know, but hear me out. Oilers are starting to play better defensively. They are. That it's right there. They're playing better defensively. And you saw, I mean, it's one game, right? But you saw the kind of impact that Jarry has. He's more poised in net when he is on his game. He doesn't have the happy feet that Skinner does quite a bit. He doesn't get out of position a lot. Skinner tends to overplay his position a lot. And Jarry's not like that. You also get the benefit of Jarry being able to play the puck better. Now, a team that wants to generate speed through the neutral zone, that's a better goaltending situation for you, playing in front of a guy who can conceivably get the puck out of there a lot quicker. So that makes Edmonton's transition game better. It makes their defensive game better too. So I like that deal from Edmonton's perspective, and I think that them trying to play better defensively I think that's going to bode well for them. Pittsburgh are a mess. They're a mess everywhere. They're a mess defensively. God forbid they have a lead in the third period. It's all downhill for the Penguins. However, we have a number at 6.5 against with the goaltending that they've gotten recently with Shilovs and the other guy's name, Russian guy, right? So Moretto.
Yeah. Sergey.
Right?
Sergey something Russian. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So it's like my question is always that when you have a different goalie coming in, taking over for a team that has goaltending struggles, I always ask myself, how much worse can we get here? Right. So we're already at the 6.5. It's juiced on the over. You have a team that has been struggling with their goaltending. Where do we see this number if we think it's going to go over? Right. So I don't think Skinner is that much worse, and he's going to. It was similar to the situation last week in the Montreal-Pittsburgh game, where even if you get below average NHL goaltending from Skinner, it's still going to be better than what they've been getting. And what they've been getting is where the line is derived from, which is the juice or the flat 6.5 now. So I still like this under. I think that even if Skinner plays at his level, or even a little bit below his level, it's still going to be better than what they have been getting. So that's the reason I've got the under here. I think that there's an edge with the overreaction here.
All right, overreaction there. So we're going to react to the overreaction by taking the under 6.5 on the Edmonton game. 3 more games left on the board. Do us a favor, smash the like button before we head out. Just like to do that. Quick reminder here. If you like Edgework Overtime, it's the best way to tell us that you actually do, other than you guys messaging in the chat or tweeting us on Twitter or retweeting us on Twitter. Good way to do it is just click the like button. Takes 2 seconds to do so. Next game we have is the Wild against the Capitals. So, Money, I'm not going to let you lead with this one. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to give Alex the lead, so you don't have to talk too much about Quinn Hughes here. The Wild right now, -120 favorites at home. Totals at 6, -114. Anything you like in this game, Alex?
So I did bet a little, and it was a bit reactionary. I got a call from my kid's daycare saying he's sick, had to go pick him up, saw the Lindgren start. As I'm driving, I'm trying to fire a little bit on the Wild. So I have a small play on the Wild, which I do still like now that I've been able to get back and actually, look into it a little bit more. The Washington has not been playing good hockey for kind of a while now. They've really been struggling to find their game. And Thompson masks a lot of that. Lindgren has been struggling. If you look at over the last 3 weeks, I'm trying to pull up my charts here, but if you look at over the last 3 weeks, the Capitals are 31st in the NHL in expected goal share of 5-on-5. So they have been very, very much struggling, and the Wild are really turning things around. They're playing better hockey. They look better. They're figuring things out in the back end. They're getting the goaltending. So getting the Lindgren start was enough for me. I still do think this is a good Washington team that'll eventually figure it out, but they're injured right now and they're just struggling to find their game. And I think there's a little bit of a value here on a Wild team that is playing better hockey over the last almost the last month even, but especially over the last couple weeks.
All right. So, Money. Sorry, I just you can talk us through this game.
All right. So this is what you do.
All right.
You take all your Wild priors, everything, all the Wild numbers, you do this and you chuck it. Reason being is this. Everything that the Wild are up to this point, they're going to be not only better, but they're going to be different because they have a player that changes the dynamic of their whole game is going to change. Theoretically, they're going to be more offensive. The one thing they were missing, I read Dom's article last week, completely agree with that. What he was saying was that the one thing that the Wild have been missing was a puck-moving defenseman. Well, here he is, right? This is the one thing that we're missing in their game. Besides some offensive depth, but that's not what we're talking about right now. He can control the play. He can control the whole game. So I think the Wild are going to be better.
Okay.
I do agree with Alex that they're probably a little bit undervalued. Um, but that being said, um, this number has gotten too far with the Lindgren confirmation. I know that it's a significant drop off, but I can't get over the difference in price that we saw from where the Caps were to where they got to with the Lindgren confirmation. So with that, we are going to go head to head on this one. I can't get past it. I will be betting the Capitals plus money. It has nothing to do with the Wild because, like I said, you can't take anything up to this point right now because they're going to be a different team. It has everything to do with, I don't think that we should have seen that big of a drop off from Thompson to Lindgren.
All right, head to head. First head to head in what feels like in a really long time. We had a double best bet today on, I believe, the Vancouver and New York under. Now we have a head to head on the Wild and the Capitals. All right. Is this a Quinn Hughes hate play? So money?
Not at all.
All right, last two games here before we head out. Avs.
She left. It's her fault.
Fair. Avs taking on the Kraken. Avs minus 310 right now on the money line. Totals at 6, minus 120 towards the under. Quickly, so money. Anything you like in this game?
No. I lean the under here. I would have liked the under, but Colorado is starting to generate at a level that is kind of surpassing the thoughts that I had on them being an under team. So that's I mean I can't get there right now. They're just too good offensively, and even when they're not, we went through a run there with Colorado unders, but it just got to a point where even if they are trying to play defensive and tighten it up, it's just they're just at another level offensively. So I got to pass here.
All right, passing it to Alex. Are you also passing to the next game?
Yes. I will say one thing on the Kraken is that in an attempt to try and generate more offense, because they cannot generate offense whatsoever, they have opened things up a little bit, and it has come at a cost of their defensive play. So they're like, this would have been a month ago a game that I would have run to bet under 6 in. But now the way that, like somebody said, the way the Avs are generating more and the way the Kraken are opening things up and generating a little bit more, but also giving up a ton, I would almost lean the other way, but I'm definitely not going to bet an over here. I think it's nice to see this Kraken team that I said so many times was so bad, and they kept winning games somehow earlier in the year. It's nice to see that they can't win a hockey game anymore. So sorry to anyone in Seattle, but I have like a weird vendetta for some reason against that team. It feels like.
I think it's justified. I will give it to you. It's justified. I think it more so also has to do with their beat reporters and the lack of coverage. There's like a little
Terrible.
Cherry on top.
Very upsetting. Yeah.
Last game here, Flames, Sharks. Flames coming in on the road. Favorites on the money line, minus 142 right now. Pretty heavy favorites here. Totals at 5.5. Juice towards the over, minus 126. Alex, last game on the board. Do you have a bet for us or no bet here?
I have no bet. I don't hate I feel like somebody's going to come in here and bet the Sharks, and I can see why someone would come in and want to bet the Sharks, because they have shown more over their last few games. And again, this is like a young team that's going to go through. We saw it with Montreal last year. Like, they will go through, these young teams go through crazy stretches where like they're playing really good hockey and then they look dreadful for weeks at a time. It's about fading them in the dips and buying them in the highs. And they are kind of, looks like they are entering a little bit of a high again here. I just still think Calgary is pretty good. And that is enough to sort of scare me off. Like, I think this is still a decent Flames team that is like, it's not like, what the hell, what right do they have to lay this number on the road? I mean, they've been playing good hockey for a while now. They just weren't getting the results. The results are slowly starting to come. So I am just staying off of this one, but I wouldn't fault anyone for wanting to bet the Sharks here.
So, Money, you are at no fault if you want to bet the Sharks here. So are you going to do it?
as much as I wanted to bet the Sharks and as much as I want to say who the hell are the Flames to lay this number on the road, I can't.
Okay.
I think that the Flames are playing well enough that I don't have enough of an edge here to bet the Sharks. I do think that the Sharks are playing better, but I mean, it's not like they're playing like way above what they have played in the past this season. So it's not. They're playing the way that they should be playing, basically, and yeah. So I can't get there. Yes, I do think the numbers inflated on the Flames, but it's not enough for me to bet the Sharks.
All right, not enough to bet the Sharks here. That wraps up today's show. I'm going to quickly recap. If I missed anything, you guys have to let me know. Vancouver, New York, under 5.5. Plus money is what we need. Double best bet. Philadelphia money line plus 108. Ducks over 6.5 minus 120. Ducks and Columbus games. Excuse me. Utah and Boston. We're taking the over 6 at minus 120. We're also taking Utah money line minus 115. Leafs Blackhawks under 5.5. We're looking for plus money here. And then I also wrote down everything Leafs in terms of Moretto's perspective.
And Chicago team total
and
under.
Chicago team.
That is probably my favorite current bet in that game based on where the market is.
All right, Chicago team total under as well. Edmonton, Pittsburgh, 6.5 minus 1. Do we want the over or under in that? I didn't write that down. 6.5 minus
Under.
115 towards the under. Good to minus 115. And then we have the head-to-head on the Washington, Minnesota game. Who wins? Who wins?
I mean, I obviously think I do.
Okay, there you go.
I think so many things he does. So you know.
All right.
Also, I'm on the Canucks as well.
All right. Okay. On the Canucks. Oh yes, on the Canucks as well. On the Canucks tonight, fading the Wild tonight. Interesting. Anyways, appreciate you guys joining the show. See you guys on Thursday. Happy holidays. Appreciate you guys joining us. We'll talk soon.
See you guys.
Great stuff there from the Edgework crew. That wraps up today's show. You know the drill. Do us a favor. Smash the like button. Goes a long way here on the channel. If you're new to the channel as well, hit the subscribe button. Double check your subscribe. That's all I ask. Holiday season. Do us a favor. Double check. And if you want to go the extra mile, if you want to go all the way, family time is coming up. You're going to be around your cousins, your family, aunts, uncles. They might not know how to work their devices. So you might want to help them out. Grab their device. Download the YouTube app. Head over to the Hammer HQ YouTube channel. Click subscribe on their phone as well. Helps us out a lot. If you do that, let us know. Anyways, that wraps up today's show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate Drew for coming on. Appreciate Rob for coming on. Appreciate the Edgework crew for coming on. That's been the Tuesday, December 16th edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Bag Network, presented by FanDuel. We will see you guys right here tomorrow.